Nerves already frayed by natural disasters have really come unraveled as victims who wonder if they'll be able to rebuild their homes and businesses watched Congress wrangle over funding for FEMA.
And you really wonder, what are they doing down there? What are they thinking? They've certainly never been through it themselves to see, what it's like to have your house and living somewhere else and not knowing how you're going to put it back together.
At issue was a Republican demand that in tight economic times, $1 billion in immediate aid for FEMA be offset by cuts elsewhere. Democrats argued long and hard against that.
To require an offset before you can be rescued is not the American way.
But a deal to keep the government operating past Friday fell into place after FEMA said it has enough money.
This compromise should satisfy Republicans. It includes their own 2012 FEMA funding number, and it should satisfy the Democrats because it does not include the offsets that we've talked about so much here.
Republicans, meanwhile, said it showed they were right not to rubber stamp the push for more money for FEMA.
Quite frankly, I think this is a vindication of what Republicans have been saying all along. And before we spend the taxpayers' money, we should have a real accounting of what is actually needed.
House Republicans are expected to give their okay later this week. Disaster victims, meanwhile, say it should never have come to this.
They aren't looking so much as what is actually needed is what looks good for their party. And that, to me, is wrong, wrong, wrong.
And it makes people wonder how lawmakers will be able to strike a deal for more than $1 trillion in spending cuts later this year, given this wrangling over a little more than $1 billion. Jerry Bodlander, Associated Press, Capitol Hill.